Good morning, all. It's an honor to be here with you all. It's great to have the representation of the media on this special occasion. You know, sports is a big thing in Ghana, and there are certain core sports being identified. And we don't just have the government putting their role into sports, we have the private sector. And last year, with the launch of the Ghana Mixed Martial Arts Association, we had backings from the Caribbean, and a very big launch and some activities after that. And in fact, we had athletes who traveled abroad from there and were successful. And so we are pushing forward, and we've had one of our sponsors from last year who is back on board. We have an event next month where our athletes have been training for the World Championships in Serbia next month. And of course, to get there and to complete their training, funds are necessary. We believe in the Ghana Mixed Martial Arts Association that not only should we hope and wait and plan for things or believe, but there's need for action. And we're happy that today, on this occasion, we are saying thank you to Mohamed's enterprise. Mr. Mohamed himself is here, and he's going to make a presentation to assist the athletes in their final preparation and their travel to Serbia. We also have, on my right, the president of the Ghana Mixed Martial Arts Association, and he's going to come and give a couple of words before the actual presentation is done. Mr. Gavin Singh.
Thank you, Rob. You hold this mic so well. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here again. A very special thank you to Mr. Mohamed. We've come to know him over time as Uncle Shell. Today is a very special day. The reason why, it is another day in the history of mixed martial arts in our country. This is the second World Championships that we will be participating in. Last year we were privileged to be there in Abu Dhabi. This year we're going to Serbia, February 11th to February 18th. The team has been practicing and has been training tremendously since the Pan Am Games. And that main team consists of 3 athletes, Ignace Cave, Kyle Ramsey, and Kerwin Clark. Now, those athletes are under the stewardship of Coach Bob, and they're coming from the Ghana Police Force Mixed Martial Arts Academy. A lot of hard work and energy and planning has been into it. And today, it's a very special thank you to Mr. Mohamed here, because having our athletes there, it's putting our country on the map, on the world map, and keeping us there. I want to say a special thank you to Mr. Mohamed, because our country is going to be the only country representing the Caribbean for the second time at the World Championships. All right? Trinidad and Tobago was very big in mixed martial arts. Jamaica is very big in terms of mixed martial arts. And Barbados, they're not going to be participating. So this is another historic moment, and it is made possible definitely by Mr. Mohamed here. I believe that we are more than what in terms that we speak, we should be in terms of action. In getting and working with Mohamed's enterprise and Ms. Mohamed, we've shared in terms of the long-term vision of what the Federation is seeking to do in the country. We're looking to host 2 major events, one in the second quarter of 2022 and the other in the third quarter. So we want to, but before this can actually happen, everyone would know, we are a developing country. So first we have to see what's happening, what is happening on the international arena. I want to emphasize that one of the main partners for the World Championships this year is Brave. Brave is one of the major promotional fighting arms for mixed martial arts. They can be compared to UFC, who is also a partner of the International Mixed Martial Arts Federation. Now, one might say, why am I emphasizing this? I'm emphasizing this because it is key to know that because we have the federation here, we have in terms of clubs here, we have created that platform, and athletes are now going to be able to be recognized officially, and to see what is the potential that they have, how it's graded, and how we can actually move move forward. Miss Mohammed, I want to honestly and truly thank you again for the support. This, we know this was a really, really, really hard, I would say challenge, for us, because it's a lot of work and the cost in terms is very high. Ms. Mohammed today will be contributing the total amount of $1 million to to the federation. For you guys to know, a cost for one person to go there runs between 2,700 US dollars to about 3,500 no US dollars. And the athletes are going to be there. They need to be there from the 9th to the 9th of February to the 19th of February. We're very key also in having our main, the head of our medical department, Dr. Sawan Jagnarain, who has also participated in both the Pan Am Games and the World Championships last year. His Excellency, I think everyone would have recalled, would have definitely stated publicly that for such events we need to have a medical presence there. Yes, IMMF is very, very safe in terms of ensuring that they have no medical personnel that are there, but Dr. Sawan has been strategic in ensuring that the athletes are safe, ensuring that they're passing in terms of their drug testing, ensuring that there are no injuries along the way in terms of training. And those are things that are happening behind the scenes that allow us to not only say, you know what, we're sending an athlete, but we're producing quality. We're the fastest growing economy in the world, but at the same time, we also have to produce persons of character, holistic character. And when Ms. Mohammed is investing here in us, that is what he sees. He sees that when you hear him speak, he speaks in terms of the character and the quality in terms of which he sees, and that long-term vision. You know that the Mixed Martial Arts Federation we were also a part of the Wandagana program. So we believe in terms of that initiative that has been set by His Excellency and the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport. So we're very much happy to be working together to making that dream a reality. All right. So again, I want to thank Miss Mohammed. I must have said no thank you about 50 different times, but that's fine. It's once you see in terms of that work and a person is making that effort and that action behind it. Mr. Mohammed too is on board with us for the two events that we will have, and I'm excited. We're going to be making that announcement soon. I want the press to be there. It's going to be exciting. We're going to have our own mixed martial arts competition here very, very soon. All right? So it's very, very key. Besides us here today, we have executive Mr. Prasad, Neville Prasad, Dr. Sawan, who is also an executive on our board. We have Carl Ramsey. Put your hands together for Carl. Carl has brought home the first silver medal for our country at the Pan Am Games. With us here, we also have Paul Musa, who is on board in terms of with training, Exodus Gym. He has with him to his coach, Senior Lazaro. All right, I like to say Senior Lazaro. We'll go a bit more in detail on that next week. We have some exciting news there. This young man is on board, and he is a visionary. He sees the bigger picture in terms of the technicality of the sport and how we can bring that sport across another level. So there's much that's going to be happening in 2023. We had our objectives that were high, all right, very high. We were able to make most of it, but we believe that we can do even more in 2023. And it is because of the support of sponsors like Mr. Mohamed, the technical team, the engineering team behind. Raul would have done the introduction, but it's very strategic in the holistic platform that we have in ensuring that athletes are well-rounded, and that is key. Mr. Dundas here is John Maxwell, team coach, has been working with us to ensure that athletes become well-rounded in terms of their vision, how you think. The fight is not only in the octagon, it is in the mind. And that is something that we need to start. Ms. Mohamed would have shared his story with us on his fight. We are all fighters here today. His success story is a testimony of what our country is as Guyanese. Because what we're saying is that once you believe, once you can put your hands to the plow, once you can work, once you can be up, not at 9 a.m. in the morning, at 5, at 4, and you can be up before the sun, and you can put your hands to the plow, work towards that dream, it can become a reality. He is now giving back a lot, not only to our federation, but to other groups, and we're very much appreciative of that at the end of the day. With that, I'd like to say thank you all, and I'll hand it over now to Mr. Mohamed to say a few words.
President of the Federation, Executive of the Federation, athletes, members of the media, it is really an honor to be here once again to make a presentation on this combat sport, a sport that I have been looking at too, and I like. Yeah. As the President spoke about vision, it is important in life that you have a vision, because if you go wrong as a sportsman, as an aspiring businessman, and you don't have a vision, even as a media personnel, and you don't have a vision, where you are, where you want to be next 10 years, you don't have any planning, you don't, then you wouldn't be successful. You're just going to be an ordinary person, So you have to have a vision, and you have to work towards the fulfillment of that vision. And that is why 80% of the successful people in the world, business people, are people who don't even have a university degree, right? But they work hard, They had this dream, they had this vision. As the President spoke, they wake very early and they start the day early. Read about Warren Buffett, read about Bill Gates and all these successful people, they start the day very early and they can achieve so much. Likewise, all of us, generally, there are opportunities in the world and we have to grasp at it and, we have to make the best out of it in whatever profession we choose. I want to congratulate the Federation. I was told that, they have the hectagon now, so that means it's going to be more training. Yes. I was there at the luncheon, Yes, I think that the sport is growing. I saw the President and his government came on board, because combat sport is important. And as I've said before, Muhammad Ali, my icon in sport, he had a vision, and that's why he could have been the world champion 3 times, even at an advanced age, So I want to congratulate the athletes. I hope that they go out there and make their country proud. Because you're not going there to fight as an individual. You're going there to fight for your country. to make your country proud. That is the most important thing. Whatever we do in life, we're not doing it for ourselves, we're doing it for our family, we are doing it for generally society, so all of us should be someone whose society would be proud of. Thank you.
Just for the importance of knowledge and to promote mixed martial arts and its integrity, one of the key things that we looked at was to ensure that we have a clean athlete. I mean, we may have sport in Guyana and the Caribbean, but when you come to an international level or an international stage, you are ready to participate with your peers who are actually trained also in anti-doping. So you need to actually have the knowledge as to what you're taking. You need to read what you're taking. You need to ensure that whatever you're drinking or you're consuming does not have anything that is illicit and that is not approved by the WADA code or the WADA standards and rules and regulation. Mixed martial arts, IMMF, has adopted that rule. And the Guyana Mixed Martial Arts Federation is following that principle. With that said, one of the key things that actually pushed Guyana to where it is the early intervention of the COVID-19 vaccines. Why I say this? Because when we participated in our first IMF championships 1 year ago, one of the prerequisites were your COVID-19 vaccines. And Guyana was well ahead of its Caribbean neighbors. So what you find is that when we were ready to sign up, our athletes were clean, were fully vaccinated, had the prerequisites to participate. All right? So when we talk about anti-doping, it's not just, going up what you consume alone. We had didactic lectures to educate them at the same time what they should do, what they shouldn't do. All right? So these are little key things that we need to remind ourselves if we're going to go onto an international stage and participate. Because when you're ready for the tournament, you're being screened. If there is a whistleblower, you're also being screened. So it's very important that anti-doping and medical is very stringent in every federation that participate in a combat sport. So with that, I also want to thank Mr. Mohamed for your participation again and sponsoring us to the World Championships. And I'll tell you this, the World Championship is nothing like what you will see even in the Caribbean or even to the Pan American game. There are athletes that are well cut, they are very disciplined, they have knowledge in many areas, and when we went there, it was a learning experience. And what happened is that we went and ensured we made a mark. Persons knew the existence of Guyana. It was not in Africa, it was in South America. Also, I want to bring to light Carl Ramsey. When Carl Ramsey participated in the Pan American Games, his first fight was against someone from Mexico who had many medals, who was taking part in many tournaments, locally in Mexico as well as internationally. But he won. Won our first fight.
Right?
First fight.
And yeah, and that was history. It was a moment that I was elated at that event. And today, he went on to the finals to fight an even more experienced fighter from Trinidad. But I could tell you, he stood his grounds and he made him sweat. All right? Now, he's very young. He hasn't passed 25. Now, and if we continue on this path, who knows? We have a world champion in the near future.
Yes.
All right? So this is what that is very important for us to know, is that we may not have a lot of persons here in Guyana participating, but as yet, but
These are the guys who are going to be the pioneers that will lead the way for the future.
Thank you, Doc. So yes, again, the Mixed Martial Arts Federation has pushed through many sacrifices and challenges and have gotten to this stage, as we mentioned, participation previously, successful participation, and it couldn't come with just one person having a vision or having a dream or believing in themselves. It was a group work. I have the honor of working with the team as it relates to personal development and strengthening the mind and being able to put not just the physical in place, but the belief that they can, and then working to achieve great success. Without further ado, I want to call Mr. Mohamed to come and do the presentation to the President.